Welcome back to Southampton. We think we've unlocked the potential of this team again with the reintroduction of Che Adams and Carlos Alcaraz. We ripped Newcastle apart yesterday. We did the same to Sheffield United, but couldn't seemingly get the result in the end. But with West Ham and Wolves to come today, including Chelsea and Crystal Palace, we should hopefully, provided we can get the wins, be upping our league position into the top half. Win this next one, and we'll certainly be in the top half because we'll go above West Ham. Fulham have got Man City as well, so we'd expect to go above them too. Even if we draw and Fulham presumably lose to Manchester City, we'll go above Fulham. But we would like to win, especially at home. West Ham, then Wolves, then Chelsea away, where we will look to not lose 9-0 this year and try and put to bed the demons of last season. Right then, moving forward, I think it's going to be this for the rest of the calendar year, and I have no idea what to do in January. West Ham with Alphonse Areola in goal, Lodi, Zuma, Aguerd, Joe Gomez and Emerson, Declan Rice and Lucas Paqueta in the middle. Leroy Sané again starts, Maxwell Cornet on the left, and Gianluca Scamacca up top through middle. It's a tough team, West Ham. They're kind of similar to us in that they've got some quality, but it's only really one or two areas that stand out, and the rest is pretty run-of-the-mill, which is why we're mid-table and they're mid-table. Let's try and get ourselves higher than mid-table come the end of the season. And winning and beating teams like this, winning games like this, beating teams like this is exactly how we will take ourselves to the next level. Breaking away, I hesitate to say at pace with James Ward-Prowse. Tackled with Joe Aribo. And Paqueta again is heavily involved. Scamacca! Awkward save by Bazunu, but after the way he conceded with a swerving effort yesterday, I'm just glad that he's not conceded, to be honest. They love this short corner routine, don't they? But it's not working for them. Hopefully it never will. Ref, come on. Oh, come on, ref! That's not a red, mate. Or is it? How bad was the challenge? No, it's not a red. It's not a red. Maxwell Cornet may well be frustrated. I would be too. Not a chance he's at a red card. 15 minutes in, the referee's ruined it. Contentious from the referee. Contentious indeed, but it's in our advantage, so I guess we'll take it. Ward-Prowse, Che Adams. Oh, they'll regret it immediately. No, they won't. Che! Scamacca. Tried to outmuscle him, couldn't. Paqueta! It's going so far wide, Gavin. Just let it go, mate. They love this short corner. Sané to Paqueta, short corner. Stop doing it. It's annoying me now. Joe Gomez over the top. Ward-Prowse is making the run. Turns well. Alcaraz. Sulemana. Ow! Shankerific. He scored a fantastic goal with a whipper on his left foot yesterday. Che making a run, and it might well be the run. He's in behind here, Che Adams. Please finish it this time. Thank you, sir. Finally, he does have the ball in the back of the net again. Free scoring at Newcastle yesterday. Wasted 4 chances against Sheffield United. Could have had 2 or 3 already today, but now does at least have the 1. So do we. We're in front against the 10 men. Into Sulemana. Nicely done. I think he has Che Adams short, and Aribo's going. He's done nothing for me forever, Joe Aribo. But what he might have done is win us this game. Given space on his left foot in the box, he is very dangerous. It just doesn't happen often enough for him, Joe Aribo. But he's certainly given us the 3 points here with a good finish. It's going to be his last action of the game. He is coming off for Ollie Watkins now. But he couldn't have given us any more. That's the win. Lodi, nice. Scamacca. That's why we didn't sign you, Gianluca. If he buries that, maybe I regret not signing an 82 rated striker, but the fact that he's whiffed it. Oh, and then Che Adams goes and does the same at the other end. At least he was under more pressure, though, from the defender. So he at least has an excuse. Oh, there could have been so many goals in this game. 8 shots they've had between them. Skamaka. Oh, it's a great ball. Aguerd thrown forward at the death here to try and halve the deficit, I guess. Look after goal difference for West Ham. Doesn't do enough. We have done enough. I don't really know, has the red card changed things that much for them? They still had chances, but we just had the better ones. They didn't need to adjust for the red card because it was just one of their front three. Bazunu made a number of saves, but that was prior to the red card. But then they had a number more chances later in the game. They absolutely could have gotten something from that, West Ham United. As it happens, we did, and will go into the top half. Up next for us, Wolves, as we look to maybe now try and take that next step. Let's start closing down those sides above us. Did Fulham beat Manchester City? Fulham beat City at Craven Cottage. What is happening with Man City this season? Unbelievable. 1.3. Now that's what I'm talking about, Julian Janssen. That's more like it. Why have I had to wait forever for someone like that? Why have I not had someone like that recently in my youth academy save? Oh, he's not very quick though. It looks like he's more of a centre mid or a CDM, but there is significant potential there, isn't there? Development plan. Centre mid or CDM? CDM is 10 weeks, centre mid is 90, because obviously, well, we'll go for CDM then. What? The centre mid retraining needs a tweak. I think it's safe to say. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Jose Shah in goal, Kadiolu, Kilman, Tar and Balde, Weston McKennie, Joao Gomez and Mateus Nunez, with Pablo Sarabia on the right, Ante Rebic on the left, and Gonçalo Guedes through the middle. Decent team for Wolves. They are level on points with us in the table. We're wanting to prove that the result against Newcastle, the performance against Sheffield United, the win against West Ham, they're not one-offs. They're not just a little bit of a change in form. They are permanently the direction we are headed as a club. Win this one and win it well. And I think we might have unlocked the potential of this Southampton side, perhaps. Oh, we're still so close, though. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's a lovely ball through to Ante Rebic. Guedes denied them the corner. Awkward save by Bazunu. He very nearly squirmed in the bottom corner, but thankfully... Brandon! I didn't give you the odd start for you to do that, pal. Good game so far, Carlos Alcaraz. Are you onside here, Che? I think he might have been, you know. He was! I was pretty sure he was off. He absolutely should have scored already in this game. But he's that sort of player, Che Adams, it seems, where you just feed him enough. Just keep giving him the ball, and eventually the ball will end up in the back of the net. I presume Lopetegui is furious with the linesman. I've no idea how I was onside there. It must have been really tight as the defender went one way and Che went the other, but we'll take it. 6 goals in 11 games for Senor Adams. And we might be going higher in the table. Left the man free in the middle, and it's going to fall to Ante Rebic, who's tucked it back. And if he commits at the back post there, to be fair, he's probably offside. But he could have just put it into the back of the net there, Balde. Pabega coming on for him now. Might have left the pitch with a goal-scoring influence, as it happens. Wolves still trail by a goal to 0 here. And we're going to try and make it more than that, if we can. Which we have. Che at the double. Up the table we go. It's done well to get a tackle in there, and Teller, who's off the bench, is just disappearing. Ollie Watkins seals it as if it wasn't safe enough already at 2. It's 3. Sorry, Wolverhampton Wanderers, but we're the ones getting the dub. Thank you. Pabega. I've missed him there. Well and truly. Guedes. Back to Pabega again. Oh, Guedes! Bazunu, big save. I've ended up in the back of the net with a player. Out wide to Aaron Hickey, who's going to whip this. And he's whipped it so well, and I get really lucky. Alcaraz loves a low finish, doesn't he? There was a man in the middle there, I'm not sure whether it was Che Adams or Ollie Watkins, who surely could have gotten to that and just stood there and just watched it go past him. I've gotten lucky that it's fallen to Alcaraz in the manner that it has. Who was it that was in the middle there? It's Ollie Watkins. He's just left it. I mean, I'll take the 4th goal. Brilliant finish. Brilliant finish. Alcaraz has that little moment of magic in him, doesn't he? And he's growing nicely up at 78 now. We might have a really decent pair of wingers on our hands with Alcaraz and Sulemana, with a tasty backup in Nathan Teller. Southampton side is starting to fire. Are we finding ourselves reaching that next level? 4-0 with 4 to go. Final whistle sounds. Another resounding victory for Southampton Football Club. I think we've turned the corner. This happened last year, only this time we're much higher up the table when we've turned that corner. Last year we were near the relegation zone. This year we're already mid-table by the time we're having the opportunity to turn it around. So maybe there might just be the opportunity for that European spot that we might be going for. I think I just accepted a bid that had a player as part of it that I didn't necessarily want. Chelsea for us next. We are 9th, and with games in hand on those above, close to within 1 point of Manchester City on 26 points. I'm getting a little bit excited now. It's just a shame we got top of the table Chelsea next. Top of the table Chelsea. Edouard Mendy in goal. Malo Gusto, Benoit Badiashile, Thiago Silva, and Marc Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez and N'Golo Kante with Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic sat behind Big Rom. Obviously plenty of talent on the bench. Sterling, James, Schick, Chilwell, etc. So not going to be an easy fixture. They're of course top of the table. So we're trying to bring our season alive. And it has been showing signs of life of recent. So this will either keep us alive or maybe show that we're still only in our infancy and not perhaps learning to walk just yet in terms of getting up the table towards those upper reaches. We might still be in the crawling and dribbling phase. On top in these early stages. Look at James Ward-Prowse up there. And then inside to Sulemana. Edouard Mendy with a brilliant save. We are taking the game to the league leaders. Ward-Prowse with the delivery. And their keeper's going to come for it. Well, that's a positive start nonetheless here. 2 good chances in the opening 10 minutes. He turned the wrong way with the defender. Now Enzo Fernandez is forward. Thankfully, we've cut off the opportunity for him to get back to Lukaku was the intentional end of the sentence. He still managed to find Romelu, but thankfully Gavin Bazunu was out to it. It's a bit of an awkward one there, where it wouldn't necessarily actually let me change player to the defender that I wanted to change to actually close that ball down. Nevertheless, we are still on the attack, although Che Adams would have been offside there. We get a little bit fortunate that it falls back to us, and maybe we could still do something here. Joe Aribo's probably the next man at risk of being replaced in the starting lineup. But as time goes on, we'll wait and see what you guys say. Cucurella. That's nicely done. Really nicely done. Bazunu has to come out and smother in front of Romelu Lukaku for the second time in this first half. Thankfully, he has done so well. Now, we were already 5-0 down by this point last season at Stamford Bridge, so this is a marked improvement to say the least, but it certainly was one of those one-off fixtures. Although, that one-off just kind of happened again against Fulham, didn't it, with a 5-0 trouncing. Never mind, we'll absolutely take a 0-0 at half-time against Chelsea. Slightly under hit, and Pulisic nearly got there. Brown forward to Lavia, who has fluffed that well and truly. Now, if there's anyone on the pitch that can do Lukaku for... Really? Holy swear word! Romelu Lukaku, 40 yards right foot off the bar. Are you sure, pal? Hakim Ziyech going off and Raheem Sterling coming on. I was so comfortable with Lukaku taking that effort. And then he goes and smacks the bar with it. I thought it was going to go well over the top. Just get that to Perro before Sterling gets there. Their pace in their wide positions has actually been quite worrying throughout the game. But Perro's in behind here. Badiashile's drawn out of position. That will fall kindly for Che Adams, who couldn't have come much closer. Tried to find that far bottom corner with a power shot, but I haven't quite got my angles right. Of course, the power shots are manual with direction, so when that misses, that's all on me. Reece James on for Christian Pulisic is an odd one. Unless they've changed formation, Reece James is now playing left wing. Yep, Reece James now playing left midfield for them. Fair enough. He's probably got the talent set to be able to do it, to be fair, doesn't he? And N'Golo. Sterling. Well intercepted. Oh, I tried to quickly get that down the line. It hasn't worked. It's probably going to cost me, isn't it? Enzo Fernandez. Yep. My attempt to quickly rush to catch Malo Gusto out has caught me out. Enzo Fernandez might just have won it at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea. It's not foul. I got the ball. Play continues. Reece James felled, but here we go. Che Adams is in behind here. I'm going to need to use the run of Sulemana. Could get past Cucurella, but I'm going to tuck back and look for support. And Ward-Prowse finds Aribo. Joe Aribo! What an interception by Thiago Silva. And he's earned a goal kick too. Turns out there is no substitute for experience. Just leaned on him and made him shank the shot, Joe Aribo. We stole a point at Manchester City away, both last season and this season. And, well, as it was my mistake that led to their goal, it very nearly was their mistake that led to mine. I don't even know the thought process that went through Edouard Mendy's head there, but still, Enzo Fernandez's goal is the difference. Taking that early first time would not have worked. It would have just gone straight back into Edouard Mendy's hands. I had to try and work something with the ball on the floor as he passed it to me, and unfortunately I just couldn't quite do it. Thiago Silva was quickly across and closed the ball down. Enzo Fernandez may well turn into match winner. Oh, Thiago Silva, in fact, is going to be the man. Did the work at the other end and then steals in to nick the 3 points at the other. We've been their equals in this fixture. But top of the table, Chelsea have found a way. Hasn't clicked for me in front of goal in this one, unfortunately. Whereas for Chelsea, everything fell into place. And they might get a third here. I think 3-0 would flatter them, and they don't really deserve it. But they won't, because Gavin Bazunu makes a good save. 3-0 would be particularly harsh on us. 2-0 is particularly harsh on us, you feel. Thiago Silva trying to do it again, but can't. It'll be 2-0 to the league leaders. And that perhaps is why they're leading the league, because they're able to just get the job done, even when the game is against them. 42% possession, but 14 shots. I didn't feel like I was under that much pressure, to be honest. I only had 4, but I felt so much in that game that I'm disappointed that we weren't able to find an equaliser to make it 1-1 and then see them out. It'll be Crystal Palace at home in the final game that we will simulate next, as Ward-Prowse is saying he's hoping I can turn things around at the club. We are 11th. It's not the worst position in the world to be. It's where we finished last year, and we're very close to the top half of the table. Crystal Palace are the side we play next in that game in hand, and if we can win it, we will go 10th, because actually no, our goal difference is the same as Villa's. Yeah, we'll go back to 9th if we can win this against Crystal Palace. Well, let's go and win it against Crystal Palace then, shall we? It's a good ball. It's a great finish as well. Fujimoto gives them the lead away from home. Tackle, counter, no, half time. 5 shots to their 1. Well, we have been dominant in that first half and deserve to be in the lead ourselves. But unfortunately, our lack of clinical finishing ensures that we still trail here at the beginning of the second half. Sulemana, I was going to say, needs to pass the football. He's buried it. He's not only passed the football, he's then passed and gone and got himself into a goal-scoring position that he's then taken. 1-1. I don't like it. Kyogo again at the double for Crystal Palace in the 82nd minute. That might be game, set, match. Oh, ChesnoidPlays stole it off the keeper. He fouled him to do so. I thought he'd just run straight through everybody, taken it off him, and was going to score. It's a 2-1 defeat against Crystal Palace at home. Well, we asked the question, is the season coming alive? I think yes, but it's not alive and kicking yet. Risk of losing Stuart Armstrong, I don't mind about that. My plan for the January transfer window potentially includes him. That's the final Patreon player to leave the club in this Southampton save now. So we will head into tomorrow's episode on the back of, frustratingly, 2 defeats. But the chance to get payback on both sides tomorrow, as well as get 3 points against Nottingham Forest as well. How far away from the top 8 are we? We're only 3 points behind Villa, 4 behind City, and then it's 8 behind Spurs. 7th would be a European spot though, of that I'm pretty sure. And certainly as we plan to go on an FA Cup charge this season, European football, I think, with a strong second half of the year, has to be the aim. We will need to make the right transfers in January, but I have an idea, and we'll cover that idea in a little bit more depth tomorrow. Do drop the video a like, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that episode tomorrow. Of course, I'd love to see you with us for the rest of this season and into the future, and do check the RTG on the main channel as well, as ever, links in the description down below. For now, though, thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow.